poofy he is. He's been having a rough morning, freaking out over the RV.
Why are you spazzing? What's going on?
I just got out of bed like 10 minutes ago. I'm making breakfast right now. It's really just oatmeal. Thomas had called a Ford dealership in Dartmouth, and they're going to take us in. We have it scheduled for 1 this afternoon, so we're going to go in. We're not going to get the scheduled maintenance. We're just going to check get the check engine light sorted out. It came on yesterday or 2 days ago, I don't recall. But I guess the one servicing that we passed before is not like a required one. But we have 5,000 kilometers left to go until we do reach the next tier for servicing, and that's the required one. So we're gonna wait for that and just get the check engine light sorted out so that nothing drastic happens, and make sure there's no severe problems. It's cloudy today and the batteries aren't taking in anything. It's still low from last night. So I think when we go and get the RV checked out, we're going to, depending how long it takes, we'll probably go to like a Tim Hortons or something if the cat can stay in here while they're working on it. If not, we'll have to take him with us and just sit outside somewhere, and hopefully it's not gonna like downpour on us or something. Tonight we're gonna be staying at Dartmouth Crossing, and that's like a shopping area near the industrial park in Dartmouth. And there's a lot to do and to shop for there, so I think maybe what I'm going to do is just go for a walk and browse and stuff. Like there's Michael's and everything, and I'd kind of like to decorate the RV a little bit for fall and Halloween, so maybe I can find something cheap. There is a dollar store there, so I'm going to be tackling that place.
Alright, so we got kind of a big update for you now. We've left Ford, and basically what the verdict is that the check engine light came on from what they could tell was a low fuel rail pressure warning. So that's what their diagnostics tools were saying. Now everything else that they were saying pointed to some sort of electronics problem having to do with something in the fuel tank. So most likely the fuel pump, which is kind of unfortunate because he quoted us that well, to get it looked at properly means that we'd have to drop the fuel tank and check all the electrical connections and everything, and he quoted us for 5 hours. So that's kind of an expensive bill, and
It's going to take a lot of man hours, so I don't think they had that today either, so it would have had to stay overnight.
Right. They wouldn't have been able to do it today anyway because it's with a 5-hour procedure. If we got in at 1 o'clock, that would have put them at 6 o'clock to finish, and they closed by 5. So that wasn't gonna work today.
But he said that the whole fuel thing isn't, if it drives properly now, guaranteed, well, like there's a good chance that it's not gonna run us off the road or anything, so it can wait.
Yeah. At worst, we're gonna be burning like a few dollars worth of extra fuel between fill-ups, but it's not a huge deal, and considering the amount of money that we're going to have to spend to get everything fixed anyway, a few extra dollars in fuel here and there is not, we're not even going to come close to making up the difference in costs. So we figure we'll let it be for now. It's not a serious problem, and when we go in at the same time, we'll get them to do the scheduled maintenance, which was actually a lot cheaper than I was expecting. He said that it was going to be $238 for the scheduled maintenance, and it's a big one. It's the number 3 and 4 checkup. They
pretty much check everything, I think, just to make sure everything runs properly.
Yeah, they go over a lot of stuff. So I mean, it's nice to see that it was a lot cheaper than we were expecting, And so he was saying that if we go back to them with all of this work, like the scheduled maintenance plus the check engine light issue, the fuel pump issue, they can cut down the cost of labor a little bit and overall give us a bit of a better price. So that's kind of a good thing. And I think we're going to wait a little while. But if things start acting up, then obviously, you know, we'll have to take it in sooner. But anyway, that's where we're at with Ford right now.
We just finished sitting in Starbucks again. Like, after we were done with Ford, we went back to Starbucks, and we were there for 3, maybe 4 hours. So we got quite a bit of work done. And now we're just gonna go run errands because it's getting late in the evening and stores are gonna start closing. So we need to do that and then grab something to go with supper, and then that's pretty much gonna be our evening, I think.
One of Sam's newest big addictions are the Disney Tsum Tsums, and they're basically like these little
Disney figures that are stackable.
These little figurines that you can stack, and
they're like the plushies that you can get. It's Peter Pan.
Anyway, I guess Michael's just started carrying them, and we found these little grab bags. And usually, Sam will find one that she really wants, specifically. And then we'll just go through the packs one by one and feel out the toys to try and find the shapes that match up with the character she wants.
It's so cheating, but I don't care.
So cheating. Actually, and it feels like some of them might have extra stuff in it, so like to make it harder to figure out which one's which. Yeah, the little tiny Baymax.
It's probably very loud right now because there's a truck running outside and I'm cooking. I'm about to open my Tsum Tsum mystery pack. I'll be very disappointed if this isn't it.
We felt up so many little bags, and she got the right one.
So there's a little Jasmine, the carpet that comes with a sticker that you just put on there, and I think this is either wind. Either wind or water. So the main reason for the outing today to Michael's and the dollar store was to pick up some decorations for my desk for when I do Inktober, because I'd kind of like to set the atmosphere and the mood for when I'm filming and taking pictures of the artwork and everything like that. And I wanted to pick up some watercolor stuff at Michael's because I want to try doing some watercolor pieces. They're probably not going to be strictly watercolor. I'm thinking of mixing it up with like watercolor on the base layer, and then put some pencil crayon on top of it with ink and everything like that. I want to try something different, and I've been watching a lot of artists on YouTube and they do similar stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how they do it, and just I want to experience with different mediums. I think it's about time that I do something different than just pencil. One of the finds at the dollar store was this little wooden coffin, and it's blank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew the hinges and everything like that, and then I'm going to paint it black, because for other decorations I have these black roses. I have 2 different pumpkins with the little decorative pieces glued to the top, and I have this string of leaves with berries and a skull. And then I also have chocolate ghosts, and I have chocolate pumpkins. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chocolate in this, and even if it's over full, like I want the top to be open somewhat like that. And it's mostly for decoration, but also it's kind of nice to, you know, snack sometimes when working and everything. And it's gonna be Halloween, so chocolate was my go-to. And then I have these gems that I'm gonna like scatter around the image when I'm finished for the final picture, as well as these battery operated candles that I'm gonna turn on for atmosphere and like mood lighting. So, oh yeah, and I got this masking fluid for when I go to paint. And if you don't know what masking fluid is you put it down on the piece of paper before you do anything, any kind of painting, and it masks out what you want to keep white, and then you can just paint right over it and it doesn't go through. It almost creates like a plasticky feel, and you just take a really soft eraser or you rub it really lightly off of the painting once the paint is dry, and what you covered with the masking fluid will be white underneath. And then I got this uh, mixed media sketchbook, but I got the rough one. It has a textured paper, and it's good for, well, mixed media. It's good for watercolor, markers, anything. The pages are a bit thick, so it should handle water nicely. But right now I'm going to paint the coffin black and see how that turns out. Also, if you're wondering what kind of paint I'm using, I'm going to be using the Amsterdam acrylic standard series, just regular black paint. I don't want any very fancy. It doesn't have to be very fancy. It's just going to be holding chocolates, and it's going to be kind of in the background. It's not even going to be like the main decoration. So I figure I'll just use the paint that I have. No need to go all fancy and crazy. I'm sure it'll work fine. I mean, acrylic can go on just about anything, I believe. I don't know if I want a glossy finish or not. I think I do have some gloss back in the studio room. So if I decide that I want like the outside of it glossy, then I'll probably put it on and see how that works. But we'll see. It's getting really late and we're getting ready for bed. So I'm going to end the vlog here, but thank you so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.